Welcome back to Mainly Motorsports, and we've had co-host after co-host over the years, some regular mainstays that filled the seat next to me, and we've had a lot of guests. But I would have to say, and I'm not putting anybody down that's sat here with me, my favorite co-host of all of them. It was Amanda, and everybody loved Amanda. She was that cute little innocent girl that burst onto the scene with us back, 10 or 11 years ago. We had so much fun, and lo and behold, we've reached out all the way to North Carolina, and we've caught up with Amanda. So, Amanda, welcome back to Mainly Motorsports.
Oh, thank you, Steve. I am so happy that you reached out. It's been a really long time, and I had so much fun with you and so much fun with going to all the tracks we went to, and all the fans that tune in, and people telling me that I look better in person than I do on TV. It's all right.
So you got that. I don't ever get that. You know what I mean? And but man, we had so much fun, and I think back, and I really wish that I had saved the initial email that you sent me, because I had to read it about 10 times to really think that some young lady that the name was familiar, the Leach name was familiar, was reaching out and wanted to be a part of Mainly Motorsports, wanted to do whatever she could, because her dream at that time, and in the email it said she wanted to be the next Krista Voda. And
yeah, and who would have thought?
Yeah, I know it.
You either have it or you don't, and I definitely didn't have it to go beyond Mainly Motorsports, but I had so much fun doing it, and it's hard because I'll do stuff on social media right now, and I'm like, oh my god, I hate this. I can't even stand watching myself. I can't even stand listening to myself.
No,
So yeah, those dreams were big back then, and then reality set, because it's not an easy thing to do, and I've gotten to know a lot of journalists throughout the years who do it and totally respect what they do on TV and everything, but it's definitely a hard job.
Oh yeah. Now do you remember the first time that me and you met and what we were covering, and I didn't even know what you looked like. Do you remember that day?
I swear that I was mental blockers.
It was so funny because it was going to be at a charity go-kart race, and I think it was the first annual DT 100 that Dave Thomas had put together, and was doing a charity go-kart race with a lot of the stars of the short tracks all up here in New England. And they asked, they were at a go-kart track over in Westbrook, Maine. So I was there. That's where I said you could meet me. And it was so funny. As I remember, I was going down back to get set up, and I said to Johnny Clark and Ben Rowe, I said, listen, there's going to be a lady come looking for me. I don't even know what she looks like. I've never met her. I've just talked through email. I don't even think we've ever talked on the phone. I said, but if somebody comes through the door and they're looking for me, just call me and I'll come up. And I can't remember which one called me. It was Johnny or Benji, and they said, oh my God, Perry, how do you do it? And I go, how do I do what? They said, this little unbelievable, beautiful blonde is up here looking for you. I said, cut it out. And they said, I am serious. She is gorgeous. And up I walk, and and I don't even know how old you were at the time, early 20s. And I'm like, this is perfect. And we just took off. We hit it, and we hit it off really good because of our love for motorsports. And obviously your family, the Leach name is, just synonymous with short track racing up here in the Northeast, especially around the Beech Ridge Motor Speedway. And just so much fun with you and traveling around, and my kids, were young at the time, and, getting to introduce you to different racetracks and different people. And you, as much as you say, oh, it's a special person that can do this, everybody absolutely fell in love with you.
Oh, I'm so flattered for you to say that. I just know I had so much fun doing it, that it's just a chapter of my life that I would never change. And to be honest, Mainly Motorsports helped guide me to where I am today.
What do you mean help guide you? Mainly Motorsports is the reason you are where you are today. Let's not sugarcoat this, And
I gotta take some credit for guiding myself.
You had to, because you had to be not paying attention to where you were walking and walk into this guy. So I'll give you that part of it.
It was serendipity at its its finest. But, I would never have been there if it wasn't for Mainely Motorsports and Archie St. Hilaire. And it was so fun. And since then, an amazing life has blossomed, and I get to work in the industry that I still love, and I get to catch up with some things back at home, but I pay attention to a lot of the things happening down here, and especially when guys from up north come down here and stuff like that, and it's just I have to pinch myself sometimes, because I'm just like, oh my God, like, I don't know what happened. Where did the last 11 years go? I go from being, 25 years old, working with you, and now I just turned 36 last week, and it's like, holy crap.
That was crazy. And for people that don't really get the gist of what we're talking about, Archie was making, I think it was his second start in the Nationwide series with Eddie McDonald, I believe down at Homestead, and you asked me, I'd love to go, and I said, you know what, Mainly Motorsports isn't a paying gig, obviously it's volunteer, and we help out and I feed, do that. I said, I will pay for you to go, bought the airline ticket. Archie said you could stay with them, so I sent you to Homestead, and it really wasn't to cover the show, because that's kind of out of our league, but it was just for you to enjoy yourself, and thank you for what you did. And literally walking out of a trailer and bumped into DJ Kopp, who, you guys struck up a conversation, and like you said, 11 years later, you're married, you have a beautiful daughter, life is going great, and I'm going to take all the credit. I don't care what you say.
Archie likes to take all the credit, too, sometimes. Every time, DJ runs into me, he's like, you're welcome. Yeah, no, so that's it's awesome. It's so good, and like I said, we had so much fun for I don't know if it was a year and a half, 2 years that you were with us, and you just took Mainly Motorsports to a different level, and I'll never forget that a conversation, and I believe it was Sonny Dorenzo, longtime Beech Ridge tire guy, competitor, said to me one day, he says, now that you got Amanda on the show, I can watch the show without my wife complaining, because she sits and watches it with me. So, you just opened it all up. We had that Regis and Kelly, that everything, and I think we fed off each other really well. And you had your strengths and beauty, and I had my strengths and brawn. Exactly. It was the Amanda and Steve show. Mainly Motorsports was just like the cover.
Yeah.
But yeah, we did. We just had a lot of chemistry as friends, and and we just loved what we were talking about, and we could talk about it forever. So it was just a really neat dynamic.
Now what, and I know it was a long time and a lot has happened, but what are a couple of memories that you have that you'll take through life with you that happened because of Mainly Motorsports, or at the show or on the show or something? It's got to be something.
Oh my gosh. So the first one that comes to mind is, do you remember when we drove all the way up to Spud Speedway?
Yep.
Yep. So that race, that event, us discovering Austin Terrio, riding around the track in a tank as Grand Marshals.
Oh yeah. I had forgotten about that.
I was actually reminiscing about that the other day with DJ, and I was like, I've ridden in a tank before, and he goes, why? And I was like, Grand Marshal at a local race, and he was like, well, where was this? And my grandmother had sent me a Maine cutting board. It's the shape of Maine, and it has all these towns etched into it, and I'm absolutely obsessed with it. And so I used that as the map, and I'm like, see, way up here, almost into Canada, that's where we were. Yeah,
no, you're absolutely right. I remember you and Andrea, my youngest daughter, got to give the command to start the engines. So, yeah, no, absolutely. I had literally forgotten about that one, Amanda.
Yeah, and then my second one that comes to mind, and it's only fresh because of the whole virtual racing scene that's going on right now, but do you remember that we did one of the first interviews at the what was it? That was in Springfield, Mass. It was the Racer Show or something like that.
Up?
Yeah, and it was and iRacing was just getting its feet off the ground. And, I don't remember who the gentleman was that we had interviewed on the show, but we just started learning about it then, and that was something that they were just getting going, and to see where it is right now is ridiculous. The fact that it's being broadcast on FS1 and everybody's just griping to be on it and be involved.
Yep.
Because that is all they have right now. It's
No,
crazy.
absolutely. So absolutely, the two memories that you have. I'll tell you my two memories. I'm not saying my favorites because we had so much fun. The talks all the way up the highway to Augusta to tape the show. You know, it was like sometimes they were race talks, sometimes they were father and daughter talks, sometimes they were mother and son talks. You know, I mean, it was just so much. We guided each other through a lot of different things. But my two highlights was the day we went up to the mud runs, and you absolutely played and dressed the part. You showed up with the muck boots, the Daisy Duke shorts, the hairs and pigtails, and I mean everybody was like all about it. Remember you got to get in a truck and drive it down through the mud, and we met Crazy Matt. Remember? I mean, this guy was just absolutely nuts. And I'm like, this girl gets it. She knew how to play and dress the part of where we were going. You came, the Daisy Duke look. And then the time, and I think it was our one and only Oxford 250. Kenny Wallace was there, Steve Wallace. And I have never felt like such a celebrity as I did that day, walking around with you, and everybody's eyes were on us. Not because of me. Everybody's eyes were on us because of you. But, I mean, it was just a phenomenal day. It was so much fun. I couldn't even tell you who won the race because it didn't even matter. I was out there and I looked like a hero because I had Amanda by my side. But it was just so much fun to watch you learn and watch people, fall in love with you. And it just gave the show a different look and a different feel. And, we're still going strong. We're approaching 700 episodes. But I don't know how many you were on, but I know it was close to 100. It had to be. It was just so much fun, and you just added so much flair to the program.
Yeah, I did. I almost wish that I could do that again because it was just, I don't know. I think the chemistry that we had just made it feel natural because now if I have to do something for social media for like my race team or something, I have to do like 8 million takes because I was like, oh my God, I've got a double chin. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I didn't say the right things. And I'm like, ugh, it's crazy.
Nope, I get you. It's a tough deal, but and it just you just had so much fun with it. We had so much fun, but you've now made it to NASCAR. You got a pretty important role. You've been in victory lanes. You've been in the chases for these championships, and you're not Chris DeVota, but you're working at the top level of the sport, and you've worked really hard to get there.
Yeah, I've been on the team side probably about, most of my daughter's life, probably going on, well, she's 8, and so maybe 7 years now. I've been doing public relations, marketing, stuff like that, and I'm with such an awesome team, Colleague Racing. My team owner is an entrepreneur out of Ohio. Just a really stand-up guy, very admirable, and so I take a lot of pride working for him. I actually worked with him at my first team, and he was the sponsor of the car, and then when my first team started, diminishing their cars and stuff like that, he actually picked me up and was like, hey, I'm starting my own team, and let's roll, and so it was fate right then and there too, and I didn't look back ever since, and now I oversee the communication and marketing department. I have a PR rep who works under me. I have a social media person who works under me, as well as a full-time videographer. So, I get to play producer sometimes. I get to write up press releases and check press releases and do social media stuff. And I mean, it's so much fun. And sometimes I just have to step back when I'm at the racetrack and be like, what is this? What is going on? So many people would love to be doing what I'm doing. And I'm just so grateful to be where I'm at in my career. And, I'm continuing to work and be a female in a male-dominated industry, and that is one of my aspirations, is to just hold a role in this industry that that people look to as being important. And right now, what I do and what my team does is really, really important for our race team, since we're not physically racing on track.
No, absolutely, and you've made it. You officially have made it. You've gone by what Krista Voda's would ever have been. And, you know, the parents and the family have got to be so proud of you, to that connection. And, you know, I run into them once in a while. They're always over to Bentley's when we do our All There Is car shows and different things. And they just got to be so proud of who you become as a person, you know, with the family, with DJ, and just, you know, you are a stand-up, straight-up girl, you know, and you've worked hard to get where you're at.
Yeah, that's one thing I can, because they're never short of telling me how proud they are of me. And my whole family, it's not just, doesn't start with, you know, my mom and dad. It's, you know, my aunts and uncles, my grandparents. They're never short of telling me how proud they are of me. And it's just, it's so warming, and gratifying that, like, I don't have to do anything else in life. You know, I feel accomplished, I feel complete, and just knowing that I've made my family proud of, you know, being who I am and doing what I'm doing as a career and being the mom I am, that is it. It's so awesome.
Yep, no, perfect. And so glad you took the time with us to catch up, let everybody hear that what you got going on. I know you've probably got a lot of friends from up this way on Facebook, and it's, you know, social media has changed the way the world is going now, and we hope you're all able to stay safe down there. I mean, this is just it's like we're living in a movie right now. And, you know, it's going to pass. I mean, you know, obviously not as quick as everybody had hoped, but it's going to pass. So, you know, we wish you the best, you and DJ, and, you know, love to catch up with you this summer if you do make a trek up here to Maine to see any short track racing when you're up here. And we'd just love to have you in front of the camera one more time, you know, and just so everybody can see where Amanda is, and she's still as lovely as ever.
Yeah, I won't have to email you this time. I have your number, so I can just text you and say, hey, I'm coming home.
There you go. No, perfect. So, but thank you once again, Amanda. And like I said, not to put any of the other guys or girls that I've had in the past, you were just the best that I had. And I think it was because of the chemistry and the level that we took Mainly Motorsports to at that time, because let's face it, was all me and race car guys, Marco and, you know, Greg, guys like that. And then in comes sweet little Amanda. Everybody said sweet little Amanda, you know, and we just took it and ran with it. So enjoy the rest of your evening. Stay safe. Obviously, we'll be back at racetracks, you know, soon, and we'll be following your team, and look forward to the success that you helped grow them into over the next few years in the NASCAR level.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Steve.
All right, take care, Amanda.
All right, you too.
All right, we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back here on Mainly Motorsports.
Welcome to LST Landscaping, where we've been providing complete landscape solutions to all of southern Maine since 1969. We specialize in year-round landscape maintenance and snow services, including weekly lawn mowing, seasonal cleanups, sweeping, mulching, and so much more. Many more customizable services are available upon request. Please call our office today at 207-878-1578 or visit our website, lstlandscapinginc.com.
I'm Melinda. My husband Steve and I operate E-Keys for Cars in Saco. E-Keys is family-owned with over 20 years in the car key business. Need an extra key? We promise to provide the best quality at a good price. Walk-ins are always welcome with no appointment ever needed. You'll be in and out in minutes. And yes, E-Keys still handles emergencies. But why wait? E-Keys for Cars, Route 1 on the Auto Mile in Saco.
E-Keys for Cars.
Mainly Motorsports, brought to you by LKQ Core. Any part, any repair, anywhere. Located on Route 202 in Gorham. Wiscasset Speedway, Maine's biggest and fastest, with $5 admission every weekend and loads of family fun. Check us out at wiscassetspeedway.com.
Welcome to this week's edition of Mainly Motorsports, brought to you by Snow Pro Trailers, Interstate Batteries, VIP Tour and Charters, Four Seasons Synthetic, your Amsoil Factory Connection. Back up here in the studio, haven't been here a while, and got a new co-host, and I'm going to give her a shot this week, but I'm hoping I can keep dragging her up here. And it's Amanda Leach, and some of you people might have seen her around doing some interviews for us, so I really want to thank Amanda and welcome her to the Mainly Motorsports family, and hopefully we can keep her around.
Well, I appreciate the opportunity. This is something I've always wanted to do, broadcasting, and I enjoy racing and motorsports, so it seems to come natural.
Yeah, and you know, some people know the story. You actually searched me out, sent me a little email, and I was going to bring it and read it on air and stuff. Your little first email. It was like your little first love note to a kid when you were a little school kid and stuff. But I'm looking forward to Amanda, and I mean, she brings great knowledge of motorsports. Your family's been in it for how many years?
My grandfather raced for a good 30 years at Beech Ridge, and I grew up my whole life. My dad pretty much raced, and all like many cousins and uncles, and they've all raced, and I've just always been at the track and try to help out if I can. And I have a lot of friends that race and whatnot, and so it just something that always has intrigued me, and so why not put that knowledge with what I went to school for, and that's about it.
And then she found me, so I don't even know if she knows what she's got into. But I'm excited because I think we got some great things planned. We got, you know, work good together. I mean, you got a little bit of brains going with beauty, and you know, I don't know what's what. You know, it's kind of like Regis and Kelly. Actually, it's like more like I'm Rosie and you're like Justin Timberlake or something. But you know, we're really excited to get started with a new season. You know, the race season's among us. Last week you traveled down to Lee. You know, Brad Layton won the first invitational, or the first qualifier for the invitational.
Yes.
We're going to have Brad on the air later today talking to us. Bill Bagley went up to Bangor, so, you know, the season's here, and everybody else has got a late start, but, you know, it's kind of, they're all getting in that mode, huh?
Well, yeah, we've been all like chomping at the bit really to get to the track, and to go to Lee over the weekend. It was great. It was a beautiful day. It's some great competitive racing. You know, by far. Initially, Brad didn't have the car to beat per se, but it turned out that his car like hooked right into it when it came race time and took right off. So.
And he's one of those races when there's money on the line, you know. I mean, he still gets it done, and we'll have to ask him. I don't know how old he is. Brad's run a few races for us, and you know, he kind of races now with a different mindset. You know, years ago it was all about championships and those wins, and you know, because hungry. Now it's, you know, it's more fun to him now. You know, he kind of still goes about it with the right attitude and wants to be successful for him and his team and his sponsor. But in the same sense, he's kind of geared back a little bit. So, you know, it was good that you guys went down there, and you know, we're going to do a lot of stuff this year that we've done in the past. You know, the awards that we did last year and introduced to the show, the Driver of the Month award. We're going to continue that. We're going to start a little bit later, and we're going to honor a driver at every track, as well as we got a new one this year. It's called the Victory Lane Winners Circle Award. And what that's going to happen is, I didn't have them last week, but we're going to send them wherever we go and shoot footage. We're going to pick a division that day. And for example, you would have probably picked the ACT race last week. And the winner of the race is going to get their plaque presented to them. We'll take their picture, and they're going to get put up on our front page of the website. And they're going to be our Victory Lane Indoor Karting Driver of the Week, and you know, get some race passes to take them and their crew down there. And then we're going to continue the Driver of the Month award. You know, Easton Awards and Engraving, who does all of our awards, works with me on this, and we present this each month to a driver at each track in the state of Maine, as well as the Pro All-Star Series. And you know, I know all the guys that got them last year. We're very appreciative, and you know, anytime you can win an award on something you've done, and it's an accomplishment, you know. And you know, a guy might not win a championship, but boy, he puts that good month together, and it's still a way for us to acknowledge what he did. And you know, everybody that won those awards was very happy.
Yeah. Well, it's good that you guys pick someone each week that's going to stand out. And you know, is it going to be just like the winners, or is it someone who's going to have an outstanding performance? You know, they could have come from the tail end to fifth.
What we're going to do with the Victory Lane Karting Driver of the Week is, like, you're going to go and you're going to pick a division. Like, we could go down to Beech Ridge on Thursday Thunder, do some stuff, and decide we're going to pick the Mighty Trucks. That winner that night, that's the division. So it's not necessarily only the top division. We're going to do just whatever divisions we feel like when we're there that night. We're going to pick one. You know, when we go to the go-karts, they run various eight divisions. We'll just pick one, and we'll try to, you know, so when we go back to that track the next time, we'll make sure we don't pick the same division. So, you know, so that gives a guy that might finish 15th in points at the end of the year, but for one night he got himself a special award. And then we got this one brought to us by Blow Brothers, Trash Talk, and you know, that really didn't take off last year as much as I'd hoped. People sending, and we got some comments. We had some fun with it. People sending in, and you know, they can send an email to trashtalk@mainlymotorsportstv.com, or if you don't have an email or a computer, you can just send a letter, and we'll read it on the air. And that's a lot of fun because it gives us a chance to make comments and kind of defend the tracks or defend the drivers, and we'll take anything, and I don't care what they send. I mean, obviously, I don't want them to be I don't know, I'm not even going to try to get that word out. But yeah, okay, see, we got brains, and now I must be the beauty. But, but we'll if they're right, we'll agree with them. If they're not, we'll state our case or, the track's case. But one of the things they have to do is they have to send their email or their address, because whoever we feel has the best trash talk gets a trash talk segment supplied by Blow Brothers. So at least we know people aren't just making stuff up and sending fake names and, just to get, if they're man enough to put we don't read their names on the air, but at least we know who it is. So, just still going to do the on-air giveaway. Going to do bigger. The one in May, the first one in May, we're going to be in the, trying to get up to close to $1,000 in product to people to win, race tickets, and, so get more postcards, and people can send their postcards in to Mainely Motorsports, Inc., 326 Roosevelt Trail, Wyndham, Maine, 04062. And that program is going to continue to be brought to you by New England Transmission, Mark and the gang over there. So they've been a big supporter of this show since we took over. So. And we sell DVDs, so maybe I'll give you a DVD for a show, but in the future you might be, people say, hey, I want to buy a DVD of Amanda. So same thing, Mainly Motorsports Inc., and send a check or money order, $20, and my wife takes care of that. So that's one of the things. I mean, you see the organization that I have, and you're trying to straighten me out, but on that end with the DVDs and stuff, Leanne's all over that. She gets them out and they go, so it's good, and I'm excited, and like I said, you can do as much as you want, as little as you want, but I'm sure as people see you and get comfortable with you and you get comfortable with this, that they're going to enjoy seeing you at the racetrack and coming for them, looking to have an interview done by Amanda. Right?
Well, I can only hope.
You can only hope. But we got a leftover piece. Reggie Lehman, Dave did a piece with Reggie Lehman over at the Portland Expo show, and Reggie's one of those die-hard racers. He's finding himself a little success now, but back when Reggie started, they used to always comment, he did it all. He hauled the car to the racetrack himself. He had no crew. They used to call him like the one-man racing crew. I mean, he did everything. If he came in for a pit stop, he'd jump out and fix his own car. So, now he's found a little success, got a little help behind him, and, last year he finished, I believe, runner-up to Sally Girardi in the championship battle. So, we caught up with him and give him a chance to plug his sponsors and plug his race team. And, he's looking forward to a big 2009 season and maybe take that next step and get that first championship. So.
Don't deal with just anybody to seal coat your driveway or business this season. Call Black Magic. They bring over 20 years of experience in seal coating and crack filling. Black Magic's skilled team makes sure the job is always done right, on schedule with quality workmanship at a fair price. Protect your investment in your driveway by getting it sealed with Black Magic.
Ooh, Black Magic.
My name is Scott. This is Devin. We're the owners of Black Magic Seal Coating. Let us earn your business today. You'll be glad you did.
Football fans, have we got a deal for you? VIP Tour and Charter Bus Company is offering round-trip transportation to Gillette Stadium to watch the New England Patriots make another run for the Super Bowl. Ride in style knowing we're doing the driving. So if you've got a ticket, we've got your ride. It doesn't get any better than that. Just log on to VIPChartercoaches.com, click on the Browse Book Tour button, and book your trip today. It's that simple. Relax and leave the driving to us, and we'll leave the tailgating to you.
For a trusted name in residential and commercial site work in the southern Maine area, call Peter Pettit Excavating. We can handle everything from the complete house lot to those nasty water and sewer line repairs. Septic systems are another area that we specialize in. During the snow season, Pettit Excavating has the equipment to handle any size job.
And when the race season arrives, be sure to follow the number 7 Hewitt's Family Restaurant Chevrolet on the past Super Late Model Tour.
Call 207-282-9305 to get the job done right. That's Peter Pettit Excavating.
Well, Amanda, we're up here at Oxford, the 36th annual TD Bank North 250. We're going to try something different, do our own little version of, I don't know, the Hollywood Hotel. I wouldn't call it Hollywood. I mean, we're far from Hollywood, although you got the blazing blonde hair like, some of them Hollywood stars.
Some people may refer to me as Hollywood.
But
my pick for today is someone who actually has never won here before, or this event. He's actually coming off of a win, so hopefully he has a bunch of momentum behind him. He's in the show. So he's set in there, and my pick is Brad Layton.
Yeah, no, that's cool. And, we got this little TV show up here called Mainly Motorsports, and we do the same thing. And obviously going around and interviewing the drivers, usually I get a little more experience and I'm not intimidated. But standing here, I'm a little nervous with a guy that what I consider a professional.
Never be nervous with Herm the Worm Weaver. the key is to look into the camera and just go, woo!
Is that what they do? No, listen, my wife tells me I need to blend in and stop trying to be out in front of the, there's nothing wrong with blending in, and I don't like to do that, so.
I don't think it's possible for you to blend in.
No, what, my size?
You don't want to blend in. You want to be the Fonz, man. You want to stand out.
Stand out. Now,
yeah.
So that's my little co-host
over there.
You got to
well, now she stands out.
She stands out, and she was too nervous to come over here and ask you any questions.
Look at the legs on her. They're sexy.
Can we?
Hey, come here.
Come here, Amanda. You have to.
Come show them legs.
Now, who do you think people would rather see?
Hey, make that camera go down.
Yeah, come on.
Look at these. Look at these heels and look at these legs.
See, we only had one outfit. I was gonna wear that, but so we have to share. I'll be in it for the feature.
If you want to stand out, go put some high heels on.
All right. She's gonna replace Jimmy Spencer in your show. Yeah.
She said she'd love it.
Well, thank you, Kenny, and appreciate it, and good luck today. And
thank you.
I know all the fans of Maine really appreciate you coming up and putting the effort in, because a lot of guys just show up and they say, "Oh, I'm here, I'm here."
No.
But you're putting the effort in. You want to be successful, but you want to give the crowd their money's worth as well.
I get it. When it comes to race cars, I get embarrassed too easily. If I can't be a fool. I got to race hard, and try to do the best I can.
All right. Well, good luck, and good luck to you, Ricky, and have fun today.
Thank you.
Thanks. This is going to be the longest show we've ever taken to put together. I mean, 2 days. I'm up here yesterday getting information. The race just finished. I thought it was a good race.
I thought it was a good race too. We watched it from the infield, courtesy of Patrick LaPearl's crew.
Patrick LaPearl, yeah.
Yeah.
We don't know what they were saying because everything's in French.
Everything's in French, and it sounded like they were all yelling at each other.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was a mean intent behind anything, but no, great experience. I loved being there, watching the pit stops and all the craziness that goes on pit road.
And then to be right out there, and I think I've been to that. I experienced Victory Lane.
Mm-hmm.
We won it in 2005 with Mike. You just to see the joy in other people's faces.
Mm-hmm.
Rolly tried so many years, but you know what? I think a special one for me because I remember when we won it, and I was on the front stretch, and my wife was in the pits, and I ran all the way back to get my wife, and she was already running out there because the spouses always put so much into the race program, behind the scenes, deal with the headaches and the heartaches, and we're talking with Rolly's wife, and I don't even know what her name is, but she was just all, you know what I mean? Because it meant so much to her out there.
Well, yeah, because she knows how many years he's been trying to accomplish one of these victories, and to finally have it, it's probably a little bit of a relief. It's like, now he's going to quit chasing this thing.
I always wonder, and Eddie that cat's just cool, huh? I mean, when we interviewed him before the race, just the biggest race, one of the biggest races of his life, and he was just calm and cool and collective, kind of quiet and shy and meek, and then after, very cordial and, just, I don't know, I mean, his family, it's just the whole experience was great for everybody involved.
He was just ecstatic, like almost beside himself. I just think that a win like that for such a great family and such a race-oriented family, it's nice to see.
Yeah, so, we dedicated our whole show this weekend to the TD Bank North 250, trying something new. But there's a lot going on in the next month around the state of Maine. You got the weekend, which I got my 25-year class reunion, so we'll see how that goes.
I will be heading to Beechridge Motor Speedway for the return of the ACT Series, which 16 years ago, back when I was just about 9, the ACT Tour left, pretty much.
So what was the last year?
Come on, don't
94? 95?
Yeah, back that.
That's a good trivia question. Who won the last ACT race at Beechridge?
Wow. I'd probably say maybe Bradley. I don't know. I remember he was probably in the 1X car.
Yeah,
and
I don't know. Yeah, that could be a good trivia question. If anybody knows, come up to Amanda.
And let me know.
Yeah, that'll be the thing. We'll have the following week. It'll be at Beechridge again for the True Value Mods.
They put on a good show here, and I mean, I can only expect that at Beechridge.
Yeah. Then you.
First time at Unity, so I'm excited.
Yeah,
that'll be fun.
That'll be cool. And then there's just so much going on. The following week is huge. Doug out there sticking his neck out, so to speak, trying something that I think should be done at every track in the state of Maine. 150 lap late model race and 150 lap pro stock race. And if he could ever get the sanctioning bodies to come to an agreement and have it be act as well as pass,
that'd be pretty neat.
that would be a home run.
Yeah, definitely.
That would be a home run. So Doug's going on the limb, you know, last year he had the Toyota Tundra 250, this year he's kind of screwed up. And it's going on the same day at Beach Ridge.
Oh goodness, we'll be torn.
Yeah, well, I'll be at both because, hey, folks, anybody that's grown up around the state of Maine, and I mean, Amanda's only 25, and 43, excuse me, but now you're killing me. Everybody, if you want to know why we're able to come to Oxford and why we're able to do what we do for the great state of Maine, go down to Summerfest, because a lot of the guys that paved the way for this Eddie McDonald do what he did, and these young guys at all these tracks do what they do, will be there.
Are the old guys, you know, my grandfather, I'm gonna drag him out there, you know, see some of the old cars and speak with old colleagues and racing colleagues, and I mean, I think it'll be cool.
Yeah, no, that's good. So we're excited about that. But what's your take on what we tried to do this weekend? Do a live show. I mean, we're not Hollywood Hotel, but...
No, but we kind of got an inkling of a taste of what goes on at a real big event, and I can only imagine the hard work that goes behind the production of, say, a sprint
Yeah, they got probably 150 people, and we got Louie and Nate.
Yeah, we had some great help,
You know,
and they were on top of stuff, and we were right in victory lane when you know, Eddie came in, and so, I mean, I think it was, all in all, a good weekend. It's been a long weekend, but a good weekend.
Yeah, and like you said, we couldn't have done it without Louie and Nate, and what I wanted to accomplish today, I hope I did accomplish. I guess we'll know when you go to Beach Ridge and I make my next event, and we hear comments from the viewers, you know, because this is...
Please let us know.
Yeah, because this, and I'm sure there's some speed bumps in this and things that we would have liked to have done different, but, you know, we met some great people up there. Amanda's got a good thing. They were doing driver introductions, and they're not even yelling for the drivers. We're out front doing interviews, and they're screaming Amanda Leach. So
yeah, I got my name on the same sign as Bob Dillner, so that is an accomplishment for me.
This morning, and the guy's holding the sign out at the gate, Amanda Leach. You know, Kenny Wallace. I mean, that was beautiful.
Yeah, Kenny. We threatened to replace me. I mean, excuse me, Jimmy Spencer with me, and I'm all gung ho.
You're all gung ho, yeah, I guess. But that was great, and what a great interview, and it just shows that he's the same here as he is on TV. Be curious of what Bill's got in store next year. You know, he's going to take a week off next week. A lot of his late model guys will travel down to Beach Ridge. I mean, it's sad to say we're almost into August.
Left. You know, a couple more big events, such as the Dixon and all this. Yeah.
And, you know, then they'll be on. Can't forget the Northeast Motorsports Expo. That's coming up.
I don't even want to think of snow. I hope I'm out of here by then.
Yeah, you gotta, I mean, to even be thinking of it. I'm not that I'm doing anything with it, but to even be thinking of it, you know?
Yeah, January seems so far away, but life passes you by so fast, so.
Yeah, so for Amanda Leach, I'm Steve Perry. Thank you all for watching this first time edition of Mainly Motorsports, kind of done live on the scene. And hopefully you all enjoyed it, and we're going to try it again. So have a great week, and we'll see you next week.
You don't have to wait until the end of camping season to get your best price. Hi, I'm Scott from Scott's Recreation. We're starting our end of season sale now. We have over 300 campers in stock and every unit is on sale. Even the 2020s, up to $16,000 off travel trailers, up to $30,000 off fifth wheels and motorhomes, up to $40,000 off toy haulers. Ask about our bi-weekly payment program to save you even more money. Financing available, trades welcome.
Scott's Recreation, Turner and Manchester, Maine.
Our family has been in business since 1972. I'm Johnny Wolf. I personally drive and state inspect every vehicle we sell. 21st Century Motors now offers low-rate credit union financing and first-time buyer programs. We have a large selection of vehicles starting at $49.90. Quality vehicles and guaranteed repairs. Come see why more than 50% of our business is repeat or referral. Visit us today on Route 25 in Gorham, Maine, or online at 21stcenturymaine.com.
From our family to your family.
Mainly Motorsports, brought to you by
Scotch Recreation. Whether you're thinking about your first camper or looking to upgrade your current one, Scotch Recreation can help you. Get both our Route 202 Manchester and our Route 4 Turner locations and online at scotchrecreation.com.
Bentley Saloon, Route 1 in Arundel. Stop by and see why me and my friends say, who has more fun than us? We do.
Welcome to Mainly Motorsports.
To order a copy of this show, send a check or money order for $15, including shipping and handling, to Mainely Motorsports, 2 Main Street, Suite 17-103, Biddeford, Maine, 04005. And please add the show number in the description of the show.
Hi, and welcome back to Mainly Motorsports. This is Amanda, and I'm here with Randy LaJoy, and he's going to fit me for a seat.
Okay, Miss Amanda, what we have to do is get you so you don't fall out of a seat, number one.
Okay.
So we have all different sizes, and obviously your lower fit okay, but your uppers, you want your eyes in the middle. Okay. You want your shoulders in tight. You want to have it so the seat belts come over your shoulders and they hold that purdy head all together, because once you put a helmet on, you got to be contained and you don't want to move. So a properly fitted seat, means so much.
Okay. And so what are these made out of?
All aluminum.
All aluminum, recycled aluminum?
No, well, I'm not sure. It's got to be recycled from somewhere, if I had to guess. That's one of the hardest things to get the stamping to fit your torso. Mm-hmm. That's one thing that you feel your torso is inside of a seat. I tell a lot of customers that they don't wear a square helmet, and usually they sit in square seats.
Okay.
Which your butt's usually not square. I haven't seen many square ones, So that's one of the things that stamping the aluminum is a rather expensive process, but it's also something that's why I got into the business, is because this seat is different than everybody else's seat.
Okay. Well, what got you started in making these custom seats?
Well, I did do some driving. I did won some races and some championships, and through the courses of the years, I would drive anybody's race car, because that's what you do. Yep. And I was very uncomfortable. And once I always went back to my own seat, I really enjoyed it. And it was a fiberglass seat at the time. And back in '92, NASCAR said I couldn't use my fiberglass seat. I had to make it out of aluminum or steel, which obviously a steel seat's a little too heavy and not easy to form. So I went to aluminum, and the rest is history. I've been in the business now for 10 years, and it's a very nice seat. It's different than what's out there.
So then these can be formatted for any series.
Whoever needs an aluminum seat, any kind of custom made width, sizes, headrests, because the industry has learned the less the person moves, the better that person's going to be.
Okay. And so this seat in particular is too large for me because
Absolutely.
Of the shoulder area, right?
Correct. It doesn't fit you as well as it could be.
Established that the bottom half fits in just
Which,
fine.
I have a sizing fixture that I have 3 sizing fixtures that I have patents on that I can shrink a seat right to you. So it's like a glove. It fits you like a glove. And sometimes we get it, 90% of the times we get it, 10% we got to tweak it. Okay. So, after I size the person in the machines that I do have patents on, it makes it a very custom seat. Instead of sitting on a bench with a tape measure, I put you into a machine, and it just, so if something happens, you get taller, you get wider, you get thinner, we can adjust anything that has to happen.
Now, do you send these out, like the measurements and whatnot, out to a factory, or do you have the machine yourself?
We do it all ourselves. Everything that the stampings I get out of Ohio. A company I call Eastover Manufacturing does all my stampings. He sends me the stampings, and then I put it back into the machine to get the proper size, and we cut it, weld it, and whatever we have to do to get it to fit.
Now what else goes in the fitting process?
Well, once we fit your size, you're good to go until we ship it to you.
Are there different materials you can line
Any
it
color,
with?
that's right. We could pink daddy
pink
it out.
With like flames
Anything.
on it.
You want pink, we got pink. You want swirls, you want flames, we could do. You want drips, whatever you want. There's a lot of people now that want a fireproof. So we could do a Carbonex or a Nomex. Which all that does is add cost. The way I look at it, if the person's sitting in that with a fire suit on, you can get out of the car before the seat catches fire.
So it doesn't add any safety features?
Not
really
necessarily,
with the lining?
because you know when you're attached to that seat with your fire underwear, your suit, you know the seat's never going to burn because you're there already.
Yeah.
The fire is the worst thing that any race car driver would hate.
Wow. Anything else you want to tell me about making your seats?
You got to have good seat belts too, because it's a whole package. That's one thing that we've learned in the last 7-8 years. It's just not one aspect. It's not just the seat. It's not just the seat belt. It's not just a head and neck restraint. Everything has to work together, and that's one of the things that the industry has gotten so much safer because everything is working together.
Now you don't make the seat belts or anything?
Not yet.
No.
Not yet. I'm having enough time just with the seats. In the future down the road, I see a seat being made with the seat belts attached to the seat,
okay,
which is going to help people with mounting. Because a lot of people that don't pay attention to how to mount the seats, how to mount the seat belts.
Seat belt placement is key, right?
Huge.
Okay. And then most drivers wear the Hans device and that.
Some sort of head and neck restraint.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. When you are strapped into a seat, your body's contained, but your head is not. And there's a lot of weight up there. And if that is not contained to your body, you know, you can get a basal neck fracture, which at the end of the day, you're going in the ground.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Sean Moody. We take pride in our facilities, and at Moody's, it's what's inside that matters. We believe it's more than just the exterior looking good, it's what's inside that matters. Restoring the structure of your vehicle to factory specs is critical to your safety. I'm proud of our Moody's co-worker owners who understand the importance of protecting your valuable asset. And we all know what our most valuable asset is. It's what's inside that matters.
Welcome to LST Landscaping, where we've been providing complete landscape solutions to all of southern Maine since 1969. We specialize in year-round landscape maintenance and snow services, including weekly lawn mowing, seasonal cleanups, sweeping, mulching, and so much more. Many more customizable services are available upon request. Please call our office today at 207-878-1578 or visit our website, lstlandscapinginc.com.
Patman's Redemption and Agency Liquor Store is located at 95 Tanberg Trail in Windham, Maine. With over 400 feet of hard liquor and 15 doors of ice-cold beer and soda, Patman's can handle all of your beverage needs. And if it's wine on your agenda, we have over 300 varieties in stock. Then when the party's over, Patman's can handle all of your Maine returnables, and we welcome all bottle drives. And if you're late for the race, drop off the bottles and pick up the cash at your convenience.
Hey, this is Pat Man himself, just letting you know that Pat Man's is your one-stop shop for all your thirsty needs.
We're here today at the Richmond Karting Speedway, and I've gotten a chance to catch up with Isaac and Cameron. What class are you in, Isaac?
I'm in junior sportsman, blue plate.
What's the junior sportsman plate?
It's a restrictor plate that makes the cart go a certain speed, so then like we don't have kids scared of the cart and stuff.
Okay. And Cameron, how long have you been racing go-karts?
2.5 years.
How long have you been racing go-karts?
I've been racing for 3 years, and this is my 4th.
Wow. And so these two have taken an adventure, actually, down to North Carolina, to Orange County. And how was your trip to North Carolina?
Good.
It was good? What did you do down there?
Race.
You raced? And what did you race? Your go-kart, right?
Yep.
And what class did you race in?
Purple plate.
And that's the same as you race up here?
Yep.
Okay. And so how was your trip?
Mine was kind of insane with the little brother, but we were going down there and it took us 18 hours and he was really insane. But
so you drove to North Carolina?
Yeah, in an RV.
That's not fun.
Not with a little brother who's 3.
And so how did you have some success down in North Carolina?
Yeah, I got 9th and I got an 8th.
How'd you do, Cameron?
6th and 12th.
So you guys did pretty good. How big were the fields?
Big.
They were big. Do you remember how many cars were in your field?
Probably thinking 13, Cameron, probably. 20.
20. Wow. Hey, so you guys did a good job. So who do you look up to as a driver?
I'm not really sure, but
you don't have a favorite driver?
Oh yeah. For NASCAR.
Sure.
Jeff Gordon.
Jeff Gordon. Who's your favorite driver?
Kyle Busch.
Oh, all right. So you know, go-karting takes a lot. So who helps you out on your go-kart?
My grandfather, Sam Snow, my dad, and Mark, and they all help me.
And Cameron, who helps you out on your go-kart?
My mom and dad, Paves Tech, Champion Auto Body, Lux Enterprises, and Jonathan Restaurant.
Wow, he got all his sponsors in there. Well, you guys have already had a race today. How'd your kart go?
At first it was not really going well. It kept sputtering, and my grandfather just put way too much gas into it, but it's really bouncy and wants to slide up the track.
So how'd you finish?
I finished third.
All right, and so how's your kart, Cameron?
Good.
And I know how you finished, so why don't you tell everyone how you finished?
First.
And so what number win is this for you?
For this year?
Yeah.
My third.
Your third win of the year? Have you won any races yet this year?
I haven't won any races here, but I've won 3 races down at Victory Lane, which was a indoor track, and I've basically won 4 races.
Wow, good job. And so, do you like racing up here at Richmond, or you like racing down at the Victory Lane better?
I like racing down here the best because we have a lot of competitive driving, and I really like that.
Do you race other places, or do you just race here, Cameron?
I race at 106 Raceway Park here, and we're going to New York this summer.
New York. Wow. All right, well, congratulations on your success today, and you still have one more race to go, so good luck to the both of you, and thanks for chatting with me.
You're welcome.
And continuing with our piece on Richmond Karting Speedway, I have caught up with Tommy and Dan, and they race, what class do you race up here, Tommy?
Unrestricted and gold plate.
And you race the same class, right?
I race gold plate, not unrestricted.
All right. And these two also went down to North Carolina, Orange County Speedway. What class did you race down in North Carolina?
Blue plate animal.
What's a blue plate animal?
It's a special motor for animal that you run in that series.
How'd you do?
Got third.
Wow, good job. And did you also run blue plate?
Yes.
And
yeah.
How'd you do?
I got 5th, but the whole day we were fighting the kart, and I went airborne. That on Saturday before that day, I went airborne in the kart at least 5 feet in the air.
Oh wow! So you had a wild ride then?
Yeah, very.
How many karts were in your class that day? Do you think?
15 or 13, and I started 12. 15, and I started 12th, and I went to 5th.
So, how long have you been driving go-karts, Tommy?
2.5 years.
2.5 years? And you've had some success. Have you had any success yet this year?
Yeah, I've won every race in the gold plate division, and I'm leading in points for gold plate.
Wow. So how have you done this year? How long have you been racing?
I've been racing for 4.5 years, and my first 2 races were DNFs. One, the kart was tight and I spun out. The other one I got deliberately dumped by another racer, and the whole year has just been rough in my kart. We've been fighting the kart the whole year.
Oh, so you haven't had a break yet this year, right?
No, but we're starting to get one now. I'm sitting 5th in points, but me and the 4th place guy are tied in points right now, so if I finish ahead of him, I'll be in 4th place.
And you're still early in the season, so you can still catch up, right?
Yeah, but the manager of the track cut back half the race season, so we have 15 races left. I think 14 to 15, something like that.
That's a lot to me. I think you can probably catch back up. So, Tommy, who do you admire as a driver?
I admire Kyle Busch from XL Cup. He's aggressive and he's a good driver.
And Dan, who do you admire as a driver?
Really nobody.
No, you're pretty biased.
Yeah, I'm kind of by myself. I have no one really to admire as a driver in NASCAR or any of them.
Has your family raced, have you raced all your life, or have you watched all your life?
My dad, when he was a teenager or early 20s, he was in a little bit of racing with a guy I know. and he got into it a little bit, and I wanted to try and ask to get into it. And when I started to get into it, we went down to look at a cart. And when we went down to look at the cart, I liked the cart, and we came up, and that's how I started.
And so family is a big part of you coming out here every Sunday and racing.
Yeah, it is. Usually my mom comes here. My sister will be here, but she's up in Bangor right now racing mini cups. And I think my mom went up there, but my dad's usually here, and sometimes my grandmother comes here also. And my aunt and uncle and my 2 cousins.
Tommy, who helps you out on your cart?
Justin Carcos, and Ryan Hewins, and my papa.
And your papa? So you think your papa's gonna put you in a bigger car someday?
Yeah, when I'm 12 years old, I'm going to racing school in North Carolina.
How old are you now?
10.
So you got a couple more years before you can roll with the big boys, right?
Yeah. I already am with the big boys in unrestricted adult class.
All right. And so do you think you're gonna get into a bigger car someday?
Yeah, my dad wants to try and get me down to his cassette, and I can't think what the name is on the cart. Huh? No, yeah, something like that, mini stock or something. Just a little car, just some little beater cars. It's supposed to be 13, but we know the guy. We went down there for something, so we're gonna try and see if I can get in it next year and try and get in the cart and run around on the track and see if I can get into that down to his cassette and keep my go-kart if I want to come back here and something like that.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for talking to me, and I know that you guys are going to be going to New York sometime this summer.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
We're going to New York in July.
So is it a big event or?
It's a big event. It's part of the North Carolina series. It's a 5-race series, but I'm pretty sure, isn't it 5?
Yeah, it's 5 race.
Mostly everyone goes to 4 because they don't go to the one in Indiana.
Oh, okay. Well, congrats on your success already today, and good luck to the next race, all right?
We know Maine is hard on cars, so when your ignition won't turn or you lose your key, that just adds insult to injury. Why tow it? E-Keys for Cars technicians will solve your problem in your dooryard or at the mall and get you back on the road. AAA member? You should be. Your AAA locksmith coverage comes right off the bill. E-Keys for Cars, Maine's fast, affordable solution to your car key and lock problems. On the Auto Mile, Route 1, Saco.
E-Keys for Cars.
Our family has been in business since 1972. I'm Johnny Wolf. I personally drive and state inspect every vehicle we sell. 21st Century Motors now offers low-rate credit union financing and first-time buyer programs. We have a large selection of vehicles starting at $49.90. Quality vehicles and guaranteed repairs. Come see why more than 50% of our business is repeat or referral. Visit us today on Route 25 in Gorham, Maine, or online at 21stcenturymaine.com.
From our family to your family.
You don't have to wait until the end of camping season to get your best price. Hi, I'm Scott from Scott's Recreation. We're starting our end of season sale now. We have over 300 campers in stock and every unit is on sale. Even the 2020s, up to $16,000 off travel trailers, up to $30,000 off fifth wheels and motorhomes, up to $40,000 off toy haulers. Ask about our bi-weekly payment program to save you even more money. Financing available, trades welcome.
Scott's Recreation, Turner and Manchester, Maine.
Mainly Motorsports, brought to you by
Four Seasons Synthetic. See them for all your AMSOIL product needs.
Moody's Collision Centers, now with 7 convenient locations. Gorham, Scarborough, Biddeford, Portland, Sanford, Lewiston, and now South Portland. Visit us at moodyscollision.com.
Welcome to this week's edition of Mainly Motorsports. I finally found Amanda. She's been out roaming the street. Just kidding. Last week was just so screwy because of the weather, and this week actually screwy because of the weather as well, but not for us, for all you other race fans in the state of Maine, because we made the trek up here to Caribou, to Spud Speedway. Late model 150 going on up here tonight, Saturday night. Overcast all day, but it looks like it's going to, they're going to be able to get it in. And, what do you think about it up here, Amanda?
This is a really great facility. I mean, I don't think I've ever traveled past Augusta, so my first hike up here, and I think this track is great. It's got a great track owner. They've got a great car count today, and I think tonight's race will be give the fans what they're looking for.
Yeah, and for the people that aren't aware, we had him on the show a couple weeks ago. Troy Haney has taken over the facility up here from Greg Vino, and Greg did a great job the last few years in trying to make a go of it, but some health issues forced him to kind of take a seat back. And but Troy has just done a tremendous job in talking with some of the employees around here, as well as the racers and the fans. Just some of the little landscaping things he's done, it just makes a difference, and the excitement is definitely in the air up here in Caribou, Maine.
Oh, it definitely is, and he's added lights to this facility. I mean, they haven't had lights for years, and this track has been around, I think he said, for like 45 years or something like that. And he's ownership for 3 weeks, and has already made a lot of improvements. So one can only hope that the longer he has owned this track, the more improvements are to come in the future.
Yeah, and then we're talking with Troy out in the pit earlier. He said when they flicked the lights on, I guess it was Wednesday night, at a little trial session, a little test session, he had 200 spectators just to come to basically see the lights turned on. So, I mean, they got some real passionate race fans up here in Caribou, and our first trip, and I know we got a lot of viewers that watch the show, and we appreciate it. But 28 late models in the pit area, and I know they've lost a couple transmission issues, and a couple people wrecked that were planning on coming up and wrecked. So that's got to be real pleasing for him and his staff, for their first big showing, and to get that much support throughout the state.
Well, yeah, I know some cars have traveled from Bangor, some from Wiscasset. I guess it really has helped them that the rain has stayed south and it's been clear up here, and so it really helped out with the car count, and tonight I think will be a pretty good race.
Yeah, I'm real excited to see what's going on in the track. Just looking at the facility and talking with some of the competitors, it is so smooth, the surface, and you can just look at it, and I think it's going to be a great show. 24 to 28 late models on here. It's going to be awesome. So I'm looking forward to it. We got some other stuff going on today. We got ACT Invitational. They just put the list out for the first 22 that were invited. We traveled down there Wednesday and talked to a few of the competitors. We're going to try to get TJ Watson on the phone this week. We caught up with TJ, but there was just so much going on in his pit area that we didn't get a good piece. But Benji and Sean Martin and Travis Adams, and there was some serious excitement going on in that late model field.
Oh, I mean, it was cool to see the enthusiasm of these guys who are used to racing the short tracks up here in Maine, and for them to step foot in a race car on a New Hampshire Motor Speedway, that was a big deal to them.
Yeah, so race season's winding down, and this is the time of year all the big stuff happens. Obviously, the late model 150 up here at Spud, that's going to be going on the same weekend as the Cup guys are at New Hampshire. But the week before that, you have the Pass 400 down at Beech Ridge, and a lot of divisions in competition. Some Southern guys coming up. Ryan Blaney, son of Dave Blaney. Jay Folgerman, who's notorious throughout the South as far as being able to win in anything he straps in. And we're actually going to try to get them on the line later on, for this week's show. Get them to talk about their experience down south, as well as what it feels like for them to travel north of Maine. And I'll tell you, if they get the weather that they got up here this weekend, it doesn't feel like rain here. It feels like snow. But the crowds come out. They got a pretty good capacity crowd here tonight, and we're looking forward to it. We're going to go catch up with some drivers, get some interviews, and we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back on Mainly Motorsports.
We're here at Speedway 95 up in Bangor at the Monster Jam, my first Monster Jam, like I said last week. I'm here with Randy, who's the driver of the Grave Digger truck. Randy, now this is my first Monster Jam. What's the process? Like, what do you do?
The first thing we'll start out with is a wheelie contest.
Okay.
Well, they'll set 2 cars out there, just blank cars, and everybody will have a shot to go out there and try to put the front end up or ride a slap wheelie. And it's just kind of to get the crowd warmed up is what it is, Then we'll go out there, we'll have racing.
Okay, you actually do race
side by side.
Yeah. Okay.
It's just like drag racing, except we go over a hill, and then we go over the cars.
Okay.
So there's 2 ramps involved, but it's just straight line racing. At the end of the cars is the finish line.
Okay.
After that's over with, then we go into freestyle.
Okay.
That's what everybody comes here to see. That's when we take these trucks, and we just go out there and we show off. We hit all that big stuff out there.
Okay.
We hit stuff crooked, we hit stuff backwards. It's just
try not
whatever
to break
we
the
want
thing,
to do.
right?
If it breaks, it breaks.
Okay. And so, is it like, do you get paid to do this? Is it points? Like, I mean, I know with racing, you're racing for points, you're racing for money.
Right.
So how's this process go?
Yeah, it's actually, we do get paid to do it. I mean, it's you know, for some guys it's a hobby, for some guys it's a living. So it depends on what scale you want to do it on. There is a point system involved to where we have our World Finals in Las Vegas in March.
Okay.
And they invite 25 trucks to go to race there, you know. So it's kind of a build-up thing, just like any racing series that you run all year long, and then all of a sudden is the big show at the end.
Oh. And so do you mostly race on like outdoor tracks like this, or do you also do arenas as well?
We do both. We do arenas,
Okay.
we do outdoor tracks. In the summertime, like right now, we have the Monster Jam Summer Heat Series, which is all outdoor speedways, fairgrounds, things like that. And then we go to indoors in the wintertime. We do all the stadiums, we do all the arenas, things like that all across the country.
And so you do these things rain or shine, so what's your favorite?
I prefer it to be outdoors, not raining, is what I prefer. So,
okay, so you don't like to get muddy, right?
No, you know, these things don't handle that great in the mud. As big as they are, they're real awkward. The flotation tires, it pushes real bad. So it doesn't handle very good in the mud, so we can't get our speed up to hit the ramps as hard as we want to. So it's you know, I like doing stuff indoors because you don't have to deal with the weather, but I like the big stuff that we can jump outside, so I'd rather take my chances with the rain and the weather and get to hit the bigger stuff.
Okay, and did you start out racing cars, or how did you get into this big guy?
I grew up racing everything. Anything I could get on, you know, growing up. I grew up on a farm back in North Carolina and still live there today. And, you know, I was into truck and tractor pulling.
Okay.
My whole life. My dad, he still does it. And it was one of those things that kind of went hand in hand back in the 90s. You know, monster trucks was kind of like a filler act for truck pulls and things like that. Then monster trucks escalated and they became the main show. So it was only fitting that after I did everything I wanted to do in truck pulling, that I tried monster trucks.
Okay.
And, I grew up right down the road from Dennis Anderson, the guy that created Gravedigger.
Okay.
So it was kind of a neat deal that we worked out, and then eventually I come to work for him.
Yeah, this is a pretty popular ride. I know I've seen, I'm not sure if it was you, because there's different guys that have been in the seat on TV. Do you think, you know, you're probably one of the main attractions to something like this? Is that like encourage you to put on a bigger show?
That's what makes us have to put on a better show. You know, to keep this truck as popular as it is, we have to go out there and we have to perform to everybody's expectations. So if that means tearing it up, if that means rolling over, then we'll push it that far to do that.
Okay. All right, well, I appreciate your time, and good luck out there
Well,
today.
thank you, and you have a good time at your first show.
Thank you.
All right.
Hi, I'm Sean Moody. We take pride in our facilities, and at Moody's, it's what's inside that matters. We believe it's more than just the exterior looking good, it's what's inside that matters. Restoring the structure of your vehicle the factory specs is critical to your safety. I'm proud of our Moody's co-worker owners who understand the importance of protecting your valuable asset. And we all know what our most valuable asset is. It's what's inside that matters.
Servicing differentials is virtually impossible. The confined space makes fill holes difficult to reach, and industry-standard conical bottles are rigid and hard to squeeze. That combination makes for a messy job. Plus, you can't get all of the gear lube out of the bottle, so you have to buy more than you need to complete the job. And engineering your own solution only results in disaster. Not anymore. Introducing the new AMSOIL Easy Pack. Easily access hard-to-service differentials. Easily squeeze out all of the contents. And easily stay clean while you do it. No more leftover fluid or inconvenient rigid bottles. No more trouble reaching difficult fill holes. No more mess. AMSOIL Severe Gear in the new Easy Pack. The solution to all your problems.
Another first from AMSOIL. For a stocking dealer nearest you, call toll-free 877-761-8375 or visit fourseasonsynthetic.com.
We're here at the Speedway Expo at the Mainely Motorsports booth, and I have caught up with Ricky Craven, Maine's own Ricky Craven. And what brings you back up here?
You know, I had the opportunity to come back with for the show here in Springfield, and I came here, seems like 20, 25 years ago, Amanda, and it was the memories then are exactly what I see now. It's all about racing in February or March, and everybody's hungry to get going again, and all the new cars, and it's just fabulous. You know, I always love coming home, but it's particularly nice to come home and mix my trip with some racing and see old friends and some fans, and that's what I'm doing.
The reminiscing must be really nice to come back here, see a lot of old faces, and meet some new ones. And what have you been up to lately, racing-wise?
Actually, you know, I retired a couple of years ago, and so between then and now, I've begun my third life, I call it, after racing. It's mostly media, Yahoo Sports, ESPN. Of course, Bristol, Connecticut's right down the road, and I'm doing more and more with ESPN. I'm really enjoying it. I told you earlier, I'm challenged by it, which is nice. It's kind of like competing because, you know, if you're not challenged by it, you're not going to get better. And so I enjoy it, but I spend a lot of time with my kids. I have 3 kids. My oldest daughter's playing high school softball, 3rd year, and my boy is playing baseball for his school. And I enjoy that as much as when I drove. I mean, I love to watch them compete now, and there's never a dull moment. I split my time between North Carolina and Maine. I still, you know, I'm connected to the state. We have a home there, and I can't get enough of it. But it's, you know, it's just fun to come home, like we said, and it's always fun to come back and see old faces that I hadn't seen in a while. I spent 20 minutes with Dave Dion, and he's just a great guy. He's no different than he was when I raced against him, and I learned a lot from those guys. I learned so much racing against Dave Dion and Mike Rowe and Dick McCabe and the Dragon Brothers, and what I learned from them ultimately helped me win a title in the Busch North Series, and that propelled me down south, and you know, I just kept going and going. But I always refer back to those drivers because they're some of the best.
You always want to recognize who helped you get there.
Right.
And so what, out of your racing career, what were some of the best moments?
You know, it seems like every time you meet an objective or you reach a goal, you say, that's it. It can't get any better than this. But it always seems to. And for me, I can go back to one race, one day at Martinsville, where I finally broke through and won at Sprint Cup level, and that's easily my greatest day. But it wasn't just about winning finally. It was about, you know, how we won and where we won, and it was appropriate that we won on a short track. You know, the smallest track on the schedule. I think that spoke to who I raced against and how I came up. You know, Beach Ridge and Oxford and Unity and all those little tracks that I began racing on. They all helped in some little way, and I think it had a big part of why I won at Martinsville.
Now, we were talking about your snowmobile ride. Do you still do that, or is that in the past as well?
We had that for 10 years, and it was fabulous. And then we transitioned to the town having a fishing derby. So for the last 2 years, it's been a fishing derby. Still some snowmobiling, but I love that. Winter activities, and can't get enough of it. And we had a great time this year, but I'd encourage anybody that enjoys winter outdoors to come join us. It's the last Saturday in January every year, and it's pretty easy to find me, and it's pretty easy to know where I'll be that time of year.
Do you typically bring some guys up from down south, or do you just do it with family and friends in Maine? Family and friends,
and you know, every one of the drivers at some point have come to me and said, you know, I want to do that snowmobile ride with you, but I understand their time and the challenges or the constraints, and you know, it's just too much to ask. We have had some come up, and they've always had a blast, but you know, I really just promote the fact that Maine is the greatest snowmobiling and the greatest outdoors, and for anybody that has an interest in it, come do it in Maine, because it's the best.
Okay. Well, my understanding is you're on a tight schedule today, and thank you for giving me this interview and the chance to speak with you.
Amanda, it's good to meet you, and good luck to you, and I look forward to seeing you all again.
Thanks.
Hey, we're here to wrap up this week's show from Sarge's Tailgate Grill, and man, is this the other end of the map from where we spent most of the weekend, huh?
It definitely is. We traveled, 5 hours north of here. Like, I always prefer traveling south.
Yep.
5 hours south would have got us to maybe New York City or something.
And you actually thought there was going to be snow coming, and as you heard during the broadcast talking about my daughter actually racing her race without me being there and my wife, and lo and behold,
she wins again, you know.
Again, poor Leanne. It's not encouraging
Yeah,
for her to go to the race.
she's won 4 races this year. My wife's missed 3 races, and all 3 times is when she wins. So I guess we know where Leanne's going to be week in, week out, sitting home. And now they're telling me, because she had, the crew chief was Michelle, not really, but she played a major part, getting her up there, Pluffy.
And then car chief, Papa.
Yeah, Papa King, you know, who's going to be the championship crew chief on the, Scott King is going to wrap that up this weekend at Wiscasset, hopefully. So really appreciate them helping out and getting her in victory lane. But there's still a lot of stuff. I mean, nobody raced this past weekend other than Spud and Unity. But big gig going on at Bentley's this weekend.
Yeah, we're going to, my neck of the woods, in Arundel, Bentley Saloon. We're going to be there supporting LA Harley and kind of just scoping out the Bentley's bike extravaganza.
Yeah, it's all weekend long, you know, bands going on and just a whole bunch of different things. And kind of a little, you know, you think of all these racers and they get older and retired and they go away, so to speak. But Ray Penfold owns VIP Touring Charters, him and his family. Billy, who's always raced Pass and Bush North and stuff, got a mud truck. And we were actually going to schedule to run it this past weekend, but we ended up in Caribou, so he had to find a replacement driver. So instead of Amanda and Steve, he puts Ray in it, his dad, who's 81 years old.
And he got up on it, didn't he?
Yeah, loved it. Got a 4th place.
Wow.
His first time ever. Blew the motor because he held it right to the rug.
Something Amanda and Steve could have done too.
Yeah, we could have done that. Well, and now word on the street is, and I got to get confirmation, Ray's having his own truck built. He loved it. Wow. So, I mean, it goes to show, just because you can't get in behind the wheel and go out and race with the Mike Rose of the world and some of these other guys, there's still something in the motorsports field you can do.
Can't get into a mud truck. It's
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, and next time Ray goes, maybe me and Amanda will ride. You can put you in a booster seat in the middle, and I'll be on the other side.
We'll look like the Clampets.
Yeah, we'll look like the Clampets. But listen, folks, when you're down here next weekend for the Pass 400 weekend, and you're looking for something to do, you really should come over and check out Sarge's, because the food is excellent. You scoffed your lobster roll. You were supposed
Lobster roll was delicious. It was a foot long.
Yeah, foot long. She was going to save me some, but she's
He doesn't like lobster, so I just scoffed it down.
She's a pig.
I am.
Right? She's a pig. But no, we had a great time all weekend. Thanking you for coming to Spud with me and Leanne and Andrea.
Another family trip.
Another family trip.
Missing one kid.
Yeah, we left one kid home. We took the oldest one and the youngest one. And make sure when you come down here, you say hi to Tanya. She'll be the one running around with, you know, always so busy and always smiling though. Always got a smile on her face.
Yep.
I don't know. It's like she's up to something.
She's even pleasant to Steve, which
Yeah.
you know, is surprising.
Yeah. Right? Right, Tanya? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. But I'm a nice guy.
We love him.
You love him. You're probably one of the only few. But thank you, Amanda, for everything you did this week, and hope you guys all enjoy this episode. And if you ever get the chance, trek on up to Spud and trek on down to Sarge's. You'll enjoy both of them.